Hello and welcome to Who Would Win in a Fight. Today I'd just like to give a quick recap on the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight. Okay, straight away off the bat, this was one of the poorest decisions you're ever going to see. Tyson Fury won the fight hands down. And really, I think a lot of fans are baffled as to how Wilder got the draw. So straight away, I'm trying to think of a decision that was so obvious at the end of the 12th round, but it didn't turn out the way almost every viewer saw it. Now, I know a lot of people will say, look, Wilder got 2 knockdowns. I've even heard much bigger YouTube channels than myself say, well, Wilder got 2 knockdowns. That's 2 10-8 rounds. That's 4 rounds. So there's only there's only 8 rounds left. And I was kind of cringing when I was watching it, because when I was listening to that analysis, because I was thinking, right, he's won 2 rounds 10-8. That's not 4 rounds. That's 2 10-8 rounds. That's 2 rounds. There's still 10 rounds left. And I think most people are of the opinion that, okay, Wilder won the 2 rounds 10-8. On a different scoring system, Tyson Fury won the rest of those rounds, of those 2 rounds. So, okay, technically he lost them 10-8. But if you devise a different scoring system, because there are circumstances where someone can have a flash knockdown and straight away it's 10-8, no matter how the round develops for the rest of the remaining time. So he got those 2 rounds. He may possibly have nicked one more. And I think most fans can. Look, we're all entitled to our opinion. I know a lot of people might look at this and think, well, what's he on? This is my opinion, and it's a lot of people's opinions. I think the night of the fight, no one saw, based on what we were looking, nobody saw the draw coming. Now, a lot of people saw it coming because, unfortunately, this is what happens in boxing. You're going to get controversy. You're going to get draws made out of fights that weren't draws. Because in the end, I forget who was accredited with saying it, amateur boxing is a sport, professional boxing is a business. But anyways, let's get back to the fight. I digress a little bit. My eyes, Fury won it. Now, before the fight, one of my biggest wishes was that Tyson Fury would win. He'd be back to a level close to what he was against Klitschko. And I think he showed against Wilder that he's back to a high level. Is he back to what he was before Klitschko? Maybe not, but he's fairly close. 3rd fight into a comeback. A lot of people thought maybe he should have one or more tune-up fights. I was in the camp that thought he was right to go in when he did, because he knew himself. Obviously, he felt between himself and his trainer. He knows his own body. He knew how good he felt. He believed he was ready, and he was proved right. I thought, you know what, he might as well go fight Wilder, because really, if Joshua isn't going to come forth and fight him, there was very little else on the horizon for Fury, but other than to fight Deontay Wilder. He could have had another tune-up, but again, it could have been against a complete middle-of-the-road journeyman fighter, which may not have shown him anything else. He felt he was ready, and looking back, he was absolutely more than ready. So my biggest wish was that Fury would come back pretty close to where he was against Klitschko, but also I wanted the fight to pan out in such a way that Wilder would come out of it with a lot of credit. Okay, we all know his limitations as a boxer. We all know his standout point is his punching power, which, as displayed evidently against Fury, carries late into the fight. So I wanted Wilder to come out with a lot of credit. I wanted him to still be, even if he lost to Fury, I still wanted him still to be a viable player on the heavyweight scene, which he's done. He's gone beyond that. So, okay, ideally it wasn't a draw, but in some ways I think it's a very good outcome for both fighters. Not a good outcome for Joshua. I think the best scenario for Joshua, not necessarily to Joshua, because I think he'll fight whoever's put in front of him, but the catch is, who will Eddie Hearns put in front of him? He certainly doesn't want to put Deontay Wilder in front of him, and he doesn't want to put Fury in front of him. Now, if Wilder had been beaten badly and outclassed by Fury, it would have been very easy for the Joshua camp to say, well, look, he's a bum. He's been fighting nothing but bums. He's only got a world title and held on to it with so many defences because he was fighting mediocre talent. It would have been very easy to just brush Wilder aside under the carpet and ignore his presence. But he showed against Fury that, yeah, he's a viable threat, and even though his boxing will let him down at times, I actually thought his boxing against Ortiz was quite good. I think he showed, a nice standard. He had the basics there. He kind of slipped back into old habits against Fury. And again, one other thing that the fight shows is how good Fury's chin is. It's world class, because when that knockdown happened in the 12th round, the first thing that went through my head was Tyson Fury's come all this way, a year and a half, 2 years out, weight problems, drink, depression. He's got through 11 rounds for it all to fall apart in one punch. I just didn't see him getting back up. But looking at the replays, the moment he landed on his back, and the referee was very good, got to give him a lot of credit. The moment Fury landed on his back, you could see his eyes were engaged, and the referee, I think, spotted that straight away, and he knew Fury was still with his complete senses. So in some ways I'm disappointed with the result. I thought Fury won. Now I'm going to give a little caveat. I think Fury won the boxing match. I think he deserved to win the boxing match, but it goes back to the great line Apollo Creed said after the first Rocky film: I won, but I didn't beat him. And I think that really pertains to this fight. Tyson Fury won, but he didn't beat Wilder in the truest sense. So who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of months? Will there be a rematch? Will there not? Who's going to be fighting Joshua next? No matter how disappointed you are with the decision between Wilder and Fury, I think the outcome is overall, it's a much better landscape for the heavyweight scene. We've got 3 live dogs, and unfortunately for Joshua, and in particular his team, Wilder and Fury are going to go nowhere soon. So hopefully it's exciting times ahead. We got 3 good heavyweights. Fury, in my mind, things going well, could go down as one of the all-time greats. I know a lot of people might laugh at that, but I think he's got it all. Okay, apart from punching power, but then Muhammad Ali wasn't the biggest puncher either. So look, thanks very much for watching. Please make sure to write your comments down below, and until next time, goodbye.